So I'm about to do a mock draft on ESPN right now. I'll be using my draft board. I've already adjusted the draft position, so it says I'm 4. The difference in that in my second round pick will be 16, and then between the second and third round will be 6. I'll use these even rounds. You can see how I do it throughout the process, updating the draft board as I go. I don't show defenses because I always take my defense last. So it should be interesting. Um, Man, you just need to be aware of how the rankings work. So really quickly, I'll show you how fast this is. The first ones are obvious. So Peterson, Arian Foster, and someone like Doug Martin, who's retarded. So cool. Obviously, my first pick is going to be Ray Rice, and that's because that was my number 1 running back, and my sheet said to take a running back. So there you go, Ray Rice. According to this, it still says Ray Rice, but you can't really follow this. You need to make sure you've updated this draft position in order to know who you drafted. If you haven't, it's going to give you the wrong answer because it's not projecting the correct number of picks between when you're drafting and when you're not. As you're, so say you're 12th, the stuff changes. But if the 12th pick and only these players are off the board, I would say take a tight end. It's sort of a weird number to put because obviously there'd be a lot of different players gone. But it's just so you understand, like, you have to update this in order for it to give you the right answer. Let's go back. Let's get Marshawn Lynch. Going to go stupid into Drew Brees. Yeah, it's always annoying when it's going to take someone way out of order. Next is Calvin Johnson. Right now, so it says to take a running back. I'll be using this side next. And there's a big difference. There's going to be a 31-point drop off between when the running back's available and my pick. So we got a little bit of time. I'll probably pause this at some point to figure out just because, you take off for people to make picks and you don't want to sit there watching that. And I'll probably jump through rounds as well so you can see what happens when you get later, how you adjust these positions, how you can adjust your point factors to achieve different goals. There's a lot of power in this sheet, so I really want to show you guys everything you can do with it. So real quick, Jamal Charles, Sean McCoy. I'll go ahead and pause it here and start it back up in a couple of minutes. And I'll update it all live so you can see how quickly you can update stuff because depending on how into your draft, you may not sit there and stare at it the whole time. Okay, so we'll start it back up. Pick 18th on the board, so my pick is going to be coming soon. I'm going to have to update this. And my computer is running a little slow, so let's see. 10 is Alfred Morris. Let's see how quick I can do this. Alfred Morris. You can type these in too, just early on when they're in order like this. It's very easy to use a drop down menu. Aaron Rodgers, CJ Spiller, Steven Jackson. The only issue is if you type it in, you have to make sure you type it in exactly. People like H.A. Green, periods in their name, depending on how you type it in. It won't recognize it, which isn't a huge issue. It won't let you type it in incorrectly. But you need to make sure when you're doing it, you can't really use shorthand and things like that. Brandon Marshall, sorry. Brandon Marshall, 19. Chris Johnson. I'm still got plenty of time to pick. The good thing is when you do it like this, you're not really under the gun. I mean, you can have a choice if you don't set your player rankings right, but if you have a high degree of confidence in your player rankings, you should be fine. So it still says I should take a running back, and that running back is Stephen Ridley. That actually coincides with who they have as the top pick. So I'll go ahead and draft him. The other thing to keep in mind, right here tells you how many of what every position's been taken. So as you can see, one of the reasons that comes up with running backs is running backs are drafted very heavily this year, and this allows you to account for that. Because if you just do some weird, I've seen some spreadsheets that do some hybrid method where they're projecting what each thing will be in each round. Well, that's not really dynamic, and it won't really account for differences in leagues. Like I can adjust this for a 2-quarterback league, update my draft rankings, my draft projections, and this will still give me the right answer. Let's see where we are. Okay, so this will come around to me pretty quickly because someone's already on auto draft. Frank Gore, Percy Harvin, Tom Brady. Let's take Frank Gore. Well, Frank Gore. Let's type him in. Percy Harvin, Tom Brady, Julio Jones came in. And I'll have one more to do. Jimmy Graham came in. Jimmy Graham is one of the best values in the draft just because tight ends provide so much value. I've missed out on him. Oh, that's because I didn't do mine. Just type in paste. And I forgot to do my pick. There we go. So now the best pick is wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald. So it's based on my projections. So you can there's other people who are projected to have more points than him according to ESPN. But based on my rankings, that's what I'm doing this on. So like I said, if Larry Fitzgerald isn't who you want at that point, it would be Roddy White or Demaryius Thomas, whoever you have ranked higher. It's really just a dynamic tool that lets you pick the right person for you. Cool. So there, I've updated that. I'm gonna pause it again, and I'll probably just fill it out this time as I go along, so you don't have to sit there. And one or two picks from now, I'll let you join me. So sorry, this is a little bit sooner than I expected, but I did want to show you one of the things. If you run out of draft orders on this list, and you can go right. One of the things you can do is just go right. Like I have a really big screen, so I typically just zoom out and use it. But one of the things you can also do, let's go ahead and get this last pick in, which is Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson. Is you can just go ahead and hide these, and just zoom in and go, and you're right back into how you were before. So slow down. Yep. So that's basically what it is. And you just go right back to Roddy White. The actual order you put these people in isn't important either. So Roddy White did out of order, and Cam Newton. If you wanted to, you could use the track team. That's just like a level of work that I don't particularly like to do. So there we go. Like I said, my team, I have wide receiver, two running backs and a wide receiver. I'm going to go ahead and lower the importance of my running back 0.75 set and change the order to wide receiver. So I'm going to make them a little less important because I want to have a more of a balanced team. But we'll see who I pick in a couple minutes. So I'm back. There's one pick between when I picked or when I pick now. Rob, oh God, I'm not going to spell that. Gronk just got picked. Cool. So I should have Aaron Hernandez bugging just because of the injury thing scares me. So 20 seconds to my next pick. It's right now saying I should take a wide receiver, which would be Reggie Wayne. Yep. One of the other things to look at is something like QB. 6 have been taken. Worst case, 1 would be taken. So even if it's told me QB, you can do some intelligent things sometimes and say, hey, maybe I don't reach for a quarterback if I have 2 quarterbacks close, which is really good too. So I have RG3 right here. I have Colin Kaepernick at 304, and I'm also at 300. So the difference in between those two is really not much. So like, I don't care. Lose those person, and you take Monte Ball. So the next best pick is a wide receiver. So just to show you this feature, I have a lot of tight ends up here. I'm going to say no to tight ends. We need Reggie Wayne. Oh, I guess we had a wide receiver too. Draft him. Yes. Yeah, I really don't want to draft a bunch of wide receivers. I think it's just not. It doesn't help me in any way because most likely I'll be starting a running back in the flex. I have some PPR leagues where this is very different, and you can adjust those as well by just adjusting the points and adjusting the importance factor. So I've taken Reggie Wayne. See you guys back here in another 5 minutes, maybe. Almost didn't get this started in time. So I've updated my sheet. It's my pick. Take a tight end. Take Aaron Hernandez. I can find him. Jeez. That was close. Trying to multitask here can be a little different. Yeah, so I have Aaron Hernandez. This year is going to be a late year for quarterbacks. It's really important to get a good tight end. Oh, God. See, I can't spell. This year's a really important year to get a good tight end. I mean, it drops off a cliff. But the difference between Aaron Hernandez and Vernon Davis is going to be huge. I mean, I have no confidence in Vernon Davis. And beyond that, it just gets even worse much more quickly. So you see Vernon Davis have it 129. Oopsies. And then you go all the way down to another tight end, Antonio Gates, and he's at 100. And that's 2 points per game difference. That's really how you have to look at it. Picking Aaron Hernandez here, I'm getting 2 points on my opponent, whereas the quarterback, I didn't get to pick Russell Wilson, but I could potentially pick RG3, and the difference is not even close to as much. And the same with the next quarterback, Michael Vick. I'm actually pretty high on Michael Vick, just because when you get into the late rounds, take the risk, take the flyer on a few people. Like between, if I get RG3 and Mike Vick, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have one of them do well. I mean, there's a risk there, but like the difference between picking them and picking a Matt Ryan, like I could pick up Ben Roethlisberger and be 1 or 2 points worse than Matt Ryan every week. And spot start somebody. Why not go with RG3 and Mike Vick and have the upside of having a great quarterback as well as all these other amazing positions? I'm pretty happy with my team so far. Yeah, especially like you don't underestimate the value of this tight end. Like unless I'm going against, to me, I have him ranked second. Unless I'm going against Jimmy Graham, like I'm gonna have a huge advantage tight end every week. So cool. Let me update this, and I'll see you guys back here in another 2, 3. Right now, I'm trying to update my spreadsheet in time. Solid. God, I can't spell this. It's killing me. Steve Smith. Easy name, I just spell it. Dwayne Bowe. I need to say no tight ends. So ran out of time there. I need to update this. I forgot to update this last time. So won't tell me to take the tight end. It's time we take a quarterback. I'm going to 12-team league. There's no one behind me, so I can take a quarterback next time. The quarterback says to take his Mike Vick. He also has a very low draft position. He's projected at 119. So do I need to take him? No. Take a Michael Vick. Take him and Andrew Luck, and I feel great. I mean, look at that. Am I really going to have a drop off? I cannot spell. But this is just an example of why I take quarterback play. I mean, I can get, let's see what quarterbacks I have on my board. Let's say no to everything except quarterbacks. I have Vick, Luck, Manning, Romo. I mean, I get 2 of those 4. I feel pretty good. Like, I'm not losing that much compared to some of these other teams who didn't take a tight end early. You'd be hard pressed, especially just looking at performances last year, to see where a tight end wouldn't easily make a big difference having a good tight end. Let me stop talking and update my draft board. So let me show you another trick I use. Pierre Garcon. So especially if you have the production draft, so you can just copy and paste. Make sure you paste these values though. And just like you can see him there. Freddie James and Anquan Bolden. I cannot spell Anquan Bolden. I'm gonna try. Oh my god, epic. So it's my pick. This is to take a QB. I'll actually go ahead and take Luck, even though I have Vic ranked higher. That's just because Vic's going to be around the end of the draft, basically. So I think we'll do Luck because the team's got a quarterback who may take it. At least that's what it says on my sheet, and probably because of my rankings. So I can do a 0.5 factor here. Vic is, well, actually I'll do 0. The trick is Vic is going to show up because I have him so highly ranked. He's going to show up a lot, especially as we get later and later. The difference between him and everyone else available is going to be huge. Someone took Tony Romo. Interesting. Um, so you can see why that's a good pick. What is that? And then it also will show me that, hey, now QBs, 12 QBs have gone off the board after I update the Tony Romo pick. Okay. And that's another way board. Now I can wait around all my flyers. I love to take a lot of flyers in the middle round of people with just pure upside because that's the only way they would ever start over people I have. Like, what is it going to take for someone to start in my flex over Steven Ridley or Ryan Matthews? I mean, there's a chance, but I'll probably actually lean closer towards high-flying wide receivers because Reggie Wayne probably on my team's biggest risk of not starting week in and week out. But even Ryan Matthews is somewhat of a flyer. He's an upside guy, at least I think so. An area of Alexander. Some of these people are making huge stretches. I gotta look past those names. There we go. So I'm not switching back and forth between my camera because it's just a lot of work. This late in drafts, especially in these mock drafts, I have to do an auto draft, which makes this way more difficult than it would be in a standard league. But it's great to get that practice. Like, go in, practice as much as you can with this because you'll get fast at it, and then it's just like second nature. And your drafts become automated, which is what I love. It's not a bunch of struggling, and then you're under the clock and don't know who to pick. Worst case, you pick who's at the top of your board, and you use like who was best a long time ago. It's going to be so wrong. But once you get good at this, you'll never have to worry about that. It'll always be legit. Cool. So I'm looking at the draft board. There's a lot of interesting names left, and we'll see how this goes. I really like Miles Austin. It's just a good, solid player with some upside. He's ranked low because he's injured a lot. But when I have Reggie Wayne, medical show, I don't need him particularly any week. So what's the downside of getting him? I try to let my ranking reflect that as much as I possibly can, and that avoids the reaching. So even if I say, hey, Ryan Williams from Arizona has a ton of upside, I still may not ever take him over Giovanni Bernard. Wow, he just got a big contract. I mean, that's not a good example because I don't actually like Giovanni Bernard, but as a hypothetical example, I'm copying and pasting a lot of these now. It's just one. You may say Vic, but I'll just change the quarterback to 0 if it tells me to do that. Choose. Daniels. 49ers defense. I'm not even going to update them. I can show up on my thing. And I probably would have taken Shane Green because I have Steven Ridley. Okay, so Max is saying I need a wide receiver. That's wide receiver. Miles Austin. Perfect. That coincides with who I wanted to do. So really solid at wide receiver. If those three, I'm really gonna have to lower this down. And there's really gonna have to be someone really sick for me to take them. See, killing with those guys. So let's see. I pretty much have what positions I want. So at this point, it's just helpful for knowing who I want to take. So Ryan Williams is a defensive high upside guy. Someone already took him. Ryan Williams, yeah, just draft him. Go there. And now this is gonna be very, very difficult to update. I'm gonna try to do it the best I can. So like I said, at this point, actually, I'm not even going to do it. I can just look. I'm essentially not drafting any tight ends. I'll need a quarterback at some point. Vic, where's Vic? Vic to be drafted. Vic. Oh, he's not going to go till late. I'll get him in my. I'll get him as my second to last bench position, maybe third to last, just to be sure. But other than that, I'm just drafting quarterbacks and running backs. So um, I'm going to try to update it just so I can eliminate some of the people on my board, but it's not a huge issue if I don't. I forgot to the Ryan Williams stuff. I took him. Let's see. Ryan Williams, Boston Green, Steve Johnson. Johnson, Bill Golson, Uncle Brown, too. See what I hope. Names of periods are always tough because I never know if that's punctuation is normally with the thing. It's normally with the periods, but you can't always be sure. Stewart, Ryan Williams, already got him. Franklin. So there's some clear ones. So one of the things I do like to do is look for Fred Jackson's gone. The double side Rob Wilson is definitely gone. Bryce Brown. So Bryce Brown, I'm going to probably add. Let me add Vic in here just in case. Worst case, I get my Vic and the bottom of the queue. Sometimes I do this for players. What's the ADP? Yeah, we'll probably put it soon. So I just do that just in case I can actually do thing in time. Like I said, this won't nearly be as difficult. This won't be nearly as difficult in a regular draft. Well, it won't nearly be as difficult in a regular draft. I actually know both of these picks are going to be this person, so I'm just going to do it. Although, I'll take the time to try to catch up some. Fred Jackson, Mike Williams, Eli Manning, Gordon. As you can see, people are starting to take their backup QB, so it is important I get with this next pick. So we'll go ahead and draft Bryce Brown. I actually should have started both all the draft, but that would have taken more time. Oh, there's no Kansas, wasn't it? So we took the Ben. Yep. And I feel really good about my quarterback situation. Jerry Macklin. I gotta figure out what the. I have just started using this year, so I don't remember exactly what the floor is for defensive players that I have here. Let me go up. So this is how I would list them. Both of these guys can take them. So you can actually put them in each if you know what their name is. Hellman's going Fast and Furious now. That's Flacco. Glad I got my backup right when I did. As I do more work throughout the year, figuring out who the real sleepers are is really important. You put those sleepers high up and then just keep them on your draft board. Look for when they're going to be drafted early. Any Brits will be sleepers that I have. But just make sure that you're accounting for them. The other thing you need to be careful for is handcuffs. It reminded me of that. So if you have someone like I have Ray Rice, I find when I draft his backup, I'm not going to worry about him in this draft because I'm just really trying to show you how to use this tool. But you need to account for it. You need to make sure that you're accounting for the areas. You just need to make sure you're accounting for it because you don't want to get to the end of the draft and be without him. So sometimes you can adjust their rankings on the fly. For, cool. Broncos. Denver. I know how it goes. D/STH. Yeah. Pick, and I really don't need QB. 0. I'm getting towards the end of my draft. QBs, no. Okay, I'll look. What? QBs, no. Sorry. So what I'll do is look for Richardson. Yeah. He's been taken. Well, it's been taken. It's not. Okay. I ended up drafting him. So what? Let's see what my receiver there is. Hopkins. Oh boy. Yeah, a ton of that. So I need a wide receiver. So no to you, Floyd. Blackman. Little Floyd first, Michael Floyd. What do I have? No, Malcolm Floyd. Blackman. So I'll take Blackman. And now my team's preset. I actually may take DST. See if this works. It does. So the Bears looks like I can go to the GST, Chicago's. No, I don't see Chicago here. Do that right. Chicago's been taken. Houston's probably been taken. Yeah. So I don't think we've been. Bengals? How did someone take the Bengals? Who knew these people knew what they were doing? Pittsburgh Steelers? Nope. No way. Offensive backer, dude. Actually, this is slate. If we're taking that many defenses, and I don't really care. I'll just wait to the very end. I'll say no to these guys too. Boom. You see NAs here, that means we didn't project them to get drafted. So I'm gonna look at these all. These guys are gone. So let's say no. I'm still gonna go back to the running back well. Until that is fully dry. That's Bush. What's Bush? Oh. Well, I think you got the gist of it. So that's my fantasy tool. I'm sorry this video was so long, but hopefully it gives you a good idea of how to draft and how to move. I'll probably send some more videos out on how to do rankings, on 2 quarterback leagues, how to adjust for that, PPR. I'll eventually have an update for the tool for PPR. A lot of things coming down the pipeline, but definitely buy it now while you can. get to practice, and all the stuff will be in the exact same format. It'll come in the form of quick updates that you can just paste into your pages. So thank you.